Today on Public Eye News, The Office lends a cast member to NMU and robots are entering the workplace.
Later in the show, Adam Diaz will have the latest weather update, and Belleville has March Madness updates as well as NMU sports. I am Ross Ray.
I'm Mason Wallace. Welcome to Public Eye News. Actress Angela Kinsey will give a presentation at Northern Michigan University on Thursday, April 4th at 7:30 p.m. in Jamrich 1100. Kinsey is best known for her role on the NBC television series The Office, in which she portrayed Angela Martin. She has also been on the TBS comedy series Your Family or Mine and the Netflix series Haters Back Off. Kinsey graduated from Baylor University and did an internship on the Conan O'Brien Show before she moved to Los Angeles to become an actress. And Northern Michigan University will launch a new online ticketing system for athletic, theater, music, and community events on April 1st. NMU is hoping that the university ticket software will simplify and enhance the experience through upgraded technology. It will include an electronic ticket delivery, a handoff feature where you can text your ticket to someone if you cannot make an event. You will also be able to see the view from each section in each venue. The goal is to reduce paper tickets and box office traffic, especially for high-demand events such as hockey playoffs.
One person was killed in a workplace accident in Cincola Township on Thursday morning. When police arrived at the scene in Meinrich Logging Incorporated, an employee had been injured during a routine maintenance work on a vehicle. Paramedics requested an immediate area medevac from the scene, closing down part of M59 to create a landing zone. Despite the quick work of emergency services, the victim did not survive. Both Bay College and Lake Superior State University have signed an agreement for students pursuing an Associate of Science in Pre-Robotics Engineering. This allows students to go into the major and spend 2 years at Bay College in an associate's degree, followed by 2 years to 3 years at Lake Superior State to earn a bachelor's degree in the engineering course.
The National Park Service is preparing for another mission to relocate gray wolves to the Isle Royale National Park. The wolves will come from a second Lake Superior island where they are at risk for starvation after they took out a caribou herd. 6 newcomers now roam the park in addition to the final 2 survivors of the previous population. 2 of the newest arrivals come from Michipitokan Island in the Canadian Territory, where the wolves are subsisting on small mammals. And Michigan's unemployment rate held steady for the fifth consecutive month, remaining at 4% in February. The Michigan Department of Technology Management and Budget released figures that show the state's jobless rate is higher than the national rate of 3.8%. Michigan's jobless rate in February of 2018 was 4.4%. State Bureau of Labor Market Information and Strategic Initiatives Director Jason Palmer said new jobs were added in the auto sector for February, but they were offset by job declines in construction. And stay tuned after the break. We'll have your national and international news.
Coming up this week on High School Bowl, we enter some rarefied air. Our quarterfinals are Erudite 8, and 3 of the 4 teams in this week's matches are from the Copper Country. In the first, Houghton goes up against Calumet. Hi, I'm Jim Koski, and then in our second match, Hancock takes on the one non-Copper Country team this week, Escanaba. That's coming up this week, the beginning of the Erudite 8 on High School Bowl.
And welcome back. Aided by falling mortgage rates, U.S. home sales reportedly soared 11.8% in February. The sudden growth in the sales in the housing market shows that it is regaining momentum after it lost the momentum it lost after a spike in the rates for housing loans caused the sales to slow in 2018. Sales figures point towards the growth in sales of homes priced between $2,500,000 and $500,000, a range that is generally affordable for middle-class families. While home sales are likely going to continue on the rise, existing home sales are down 1.8% from a year ago because of the severity of last year's shutdown. And singer R. Kelly is heading back to court in Chicago this morning. He is hoping the judge in his criminal case will let him travel to the Middle East. In court papers filed this week, Kelly says that he's supposed to perform 3 to 5 shows next month in Dubai and meet members of the royal family. Jakarta Duncan is outside the courthouse in Chicago.
With his legal problems mounting and his U.S. concerts canceled, R. Kelly says he's been offered a financial lifeline over 7,000 miles away. He's booked several shows in Dubai in April, a contract signed before he was arrested in February on 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse. 3 of his 4 alleged victims were 16 years old or younger.
He's obviously upset that he can't move about and play concerts and go about his business.
His attorney, Steve Greenberg, says Kelly is now struggling to find his legal defense, make child support payments, and pay day-to-day expenses.
He's got to go where he can make a living, and that happens to be where someone is willing to pay him to perform, and he can get a venue.
Despite churning out hit songs for decades, Kelly told Gayle King earlier this month he only had about $350,000 left in his bank account.
When you have 30 years of success, unfortunately, it becomes the gift and the curse. People tricking me, managers, road managers, accountants, never knew any parts of the business. I just knew music, and I wanted to do music.
The 3-time Grammy winner has been dropped by his record label. Streaming services have removed his songs. Twice, he's relied on friends and fans to get him out of jail, paying his $100,000 bond and more than $161,000 in back child support.
He's not going to hide, he's not going to flee, and frankly, if someone was going to flee, they wouldn't ask for permission to flee.
Kelly has pleaded not guilty to the criminal charges. Meanwhile, organizers of the group known as Mute R. Kelly sent a letter to the judge urging the judge to not allow Kelly to travel overseas. They note in that letter that many of Kelly's alleged victims were people who met Kelly while at his concerts. Jerika Duncan, CBS News, Chicago.
Indonesia's flag carrier is seeking to cancel a multi-billion-dollar order for 49 of Boeing's 737 MAX 8 jets, citing a loss of confidence after 2 crashes in the past 6 months. It comes as the first announcement of a cancellation since Boeing new model aircraft have been grounded after fatal crashes in Indonesia and Ethiopia. PT Garuda Indonesia has paid $26 million on the order thus far, but sent a letter to Boeing last week requesting cancellation of the remainder of the order. The spokesman for the airline said passengers are now asking what type of plane they will be flying on due to lost trust and confidence. Other airlines in Europe are now considering whether to ask for financial compensation from Boeing following the global grounding of the MAX 8 jets. And more robots are being added to the workforce, carrying out tasks at warehouses and even hotels. Now they're even in grocery stores. Kenneth Craig got an up-close look.
There's a new employee at this supermarket near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. This robot named Marty, who scans the aisles looking for spills and other possible hazards.
There's 2 million customers that shop in our 173 stores every week. We want to make sure that they're safe and our associates are safe. Good morning.
Nicholas Bertram is the president of Giant Food Stores, which is in the process of deploying the googly-eyed gadget at all of its locations.
So you can see there's actually cameras on this side and then on the other side, identical cameras. On this back tower, you see 1, 2, 3 sets of cameras. And then the main one, of course, is right here, and this is the oscillating camera.
All those cameras help Marty spot items like this plastic we placed on the floor.
Caution, hazard detected.
It even spotted a cookie crumb in the bakery. Giant isn't alone. Walmart has robots in at least 50 locations to make sure shelves are stocked. Dozens of hotels are using them to deliver items to rooms, and Nightscope robots work as security guards. As for Marty, Giant says its goal is not to replace human workers, but to free them up to do other things. Shoppers we talk to like the new technology.
This is the way everything's going now, is with all technical things. I think the most important thing is how helpful it can be.
Marty eventually will be able to do more complicated tasks, but for now, it's attracting a lot of stares and the occasional hug. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, Enola, Pennsylvania.
And after the break, we'll be back with your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
The legendary Birgit Nilsson loved to sing.
She was a country girl from Sweden who became a world-famous diva.
Delight in how she did it, from her Met Opera debut.
Front page for New York Times.
And more, with lots of delicious dish about conductors and co-stars.
Placido Domingo.
Look for Birgit Nilsson, a diva in a league of her own.
Such a monumental artist.
On Great Performances.
Tonight at 9 on Public TV 13.
Hey, and welcome back to your Public Eye News Weather. I am Adam Diaz, your weatherman today, and behind me is a nice, cool, and melting NMU campus. And starting to look at our current conditions is going to be currently, just give us one moment, please. A little bit of technical difficulties. It's going to be partly cloudy, temperature at 28 degrees, winds north at 19 miles an hour, barometric pressure at 30.29 and rising. Looking towards tonight, we're going to be looking at, it's going to be clear, the low of 18, winds west-northwest at 11 miles an hour. Looking towards tomorrow, it's going to be sunny, the high of 49, winds west-southwest at 9 miles an hour. Taking a look across our beautiful and cloudy UP at Sault Ste. Marie at 30, Mastic 30, and going over to Escanaba at 32, Menominee 35, Iron Mountain at 33, Ironwood 34, and over at Hone 31, and beautiful Marquette at 28. And looking to our week ahead, we are going into Sunday, the high of 34, low of 17, AM clouds, and look towards the PM for some sun. Monday, the high of 33, low of 19, and sunny. Tuesday, the high of 42, low of 30, and sunny. The weather's starting to pick up around here, but I hear something in March is making people mad.
It is getting very mad around here. Let's go with it. The round of 64 in the NCAA basketball tournament began yesterday afternoon with both major Division I schools in Michigan State University and the University of Michigan earning victories last night. The Spartans escaped an early upset bid from the Bradley University Braves 76-65, and the Wolverines cruised on to win over the University of Montana Grizzlies 74-55. MSU junior guard and Big Ten's Player of the Year Cassius Winston scored 26 points, while Michigan senior Charles Matthews recorded 22 points. Well, Michigan will take on University of Florida, while MSU takes on Big Ten rival University of Minnesota. Both games are on Saturday. The NMU men's golf team will be hitting the greens this weekend in the GLIAC South Invitational in Lexington, Kentucky. The team tied a school record at a score of 291 in the second round down in the Saginaw Valley Invitational last weekend. Leading the Wildcats is junior Curtis Fontina, who scored a 71 in back-to-back rounds with a final score of 142. The team finished 10th of 21 teams in the invite and were tied for third among GLIAC opponents. The NMU women's lacrosse team head out on a conference road trip down to McKendree University in Illinois and at Maryville University in Missouri. The team is currently riding a 5-game losing streak after losing their first 2 conference home games last weekend. Face-off for both games are slated for 5 o'clock on Friday and for 11 o'clock a.m. on Sunday. We do have a breaking news update to share with you. A possible upset is brewing as 1 seed Virginia is down 36-30 at halftime. They were also upsetted as they lost to UMBC last year. That will do it for your Public Eye News here today. Thank you for tuning in and have a safe World Water Day.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.